Welcome. This is a review for the final, mainly for Zach and Cody, who were not here for some of the review sessions. So look at number one. It says write in standard form. I know we went over this, but let me just do it again. X squared plus y squared plus d e f equals 0. And this gets a y, or an x, and this gets a y. Standard form of a circle. We're going to put each value of x and y into this to make three separate equations and three unknowns. So first one's going to be 2 squared plus 31 squared plus 2x plus 31y plus f, which is 1f, equals, this should be 2d plus 31e plus 1f equals 0. And do the same for the next ordered pair. Negative 15 squared plus 14 squared plus negative 15d plus 14e plus 1f equals 0. And then the last one, 33 squared plus 0 squared plus 33d plus 0e plus 1f equals 0. You're going to put that into a matrix. Well, actually, you're going to square these two and bring them over to the other side. Then you're going to put it into a matrix. You're going to reduce row echelon form, put it in reduced row echelon form. And then you're going to get your values for x and y. I'm sorry, not x and y, like that. You're going to get your answers for D, E, and F. Then you're going to go back and put those values in for D, E, and F, and then you're going to complete the squares, get it in standard form, and it should work out nicely. And then you have to identify the circle center and the circle's radius. So there's a little bit of work to do on this question. Question number 2, you need to use the formulas. You're going to write in parametric form, so x equals and y equals the horizontal parametric form for 25 meters per second times t, and cosine corresponds with x, and then we put 28 degrees in there. I could do the same thing for y, 25t, but now we're going to use sine of 28 degrees plus gravity, which is, or plus 1/2 gravity, negative 1/2 gt squared. So in this case, g, because it's in meters, it's going to be, so g is going to be 9.8 meters per second squared. You're going to put that in here, and you'll get the 4.9, I believe it is. Okay. Next thing, how long will travel 2 feet horizontally? So then we're going to take the x equation and solve it for time. Do that on your calculator. How long will it take to reach the ground? You want to know when y is 0, so you're going to take the y equation, set that equal to 0. Now you can put this on your calculator and find out the zeros of the function. You can do it that way, or you can solve it by hand. Factor out a t, 1 is 0. Well, I'll let you solve that. Find it when it's the ground. Number 3, find that use the sum and difference identity to verify sine 90 plus theta equals cosine theta. You're going to use the sine of a plus b formula, which is the sine sandwich, sine a cosine b plus cosine a sine b. So instead of a and b, we're going to have 90 plus theta. And we're going to do that same formula. So the sine of 90 cosine theta plus cosine 90 sine theta. And what happens nicely with this is cosine of 90 is 0. 0 times anything is 0. Sine of 90 is 1. 1 times cosine theta is cosine theta. So that's how you get it to check out. Very easy question if you know the formula. Number 4, you need to show your work for this one. I think I have it done on the next page, maybe not. Okay, so number 4. There's several ways to do this, but I want it done a certain way. So obviously, I'll show you how that way is. You have the sine of sine of theta equals 3/5. Terminates in the first quadrant, so it's positive. Exact value, you want to find the cosine of 2 theta, but you have to write out the formula for cosine 2 theta and show the substitutions. So we're going to use cosine of theta plus theta, which equals 2 theta, and we're going to use the cosine theta, cosine theta. Instead of plus, we put minus sine theta, sine theta. Okay, and this thing breaks down into cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. And since they give us the sine, I mean, we could figure out the cosine at this point and use this formula, but since they give us the sine, let's replace 1 cosine squared theta with 1 minus sine squared theta minus sine squared theta. How can I do that? Well, we know that cosine squared plus sine squared is 1, so cosine squared is going to equal 1 minus sine squared theta when we move that over. Okay, now we have it all in terms of sine, so I can just plug in 3/5. So I can go 1 minus 3/5 squared minus 3/5 squared, or I could combine the two and say 1 minus 2 times 3/5 squared, and then 1 minus 9/25 minus 9/25, which would be 1 minus 18/25, and which would be 25 minus 25 over 25 minus 18 over 25, which looks like it's going to be 7/25. Okay, well, how do I know that's right? I can check it on my calculator, which I need to turn on. So on the calculator, I can go back to, say, making sure I'm in radians, and I'm sorry, degrees, make sure I'm in degrees, and I can do the inverse sine, or the arc sine of 3 divided by 5, which is 0.6, and I get 38.86 degrees. Now if I double that times 2, because it's a double angle, I get 73.3, and now I want to know what the cosine of that angle is. And it's 0.28. Okay, and that should be the same as 7 divided by 25. Let's hope so, 0.28. And it checks out. Okay? So, again, another doable question, but you have to show the, like you call it, a derivation of the cosine theta plus theta, or cosine 2 theta formula. You have to show that. You just can't give me 7/25 or 0.28. This question here we did in class. I think it's right here. Yeah. You're going to solve this. You have the two components. This is the resultant vector. There's a 50-degree angle, the 28. We need to find out what A is. I believe we use law of cosines for this. And when you work this out, you'll get your answer. You can work that out on your calculator. Moving along to number 10. I want you to be able to draw the two triangles inside the unit circle and label them. And when you draw them, you're going to show both triangles when there are two triangles in each one. So you got to draw it, not only figure out the angle measurements, but also show it in the unit circle. Important to do. Here's the work for number 12. What's the length of C? We use the law of cosines. What's the area of the triangle? We use 1/2 AB sine C, and figured that out. And you can check your answer through that. You also could have used Heron's formula, which I used to call Hero's formula. Um, Figure out what, if you know A, B, and C, divide by 2, and then use this formula down here. You could look that up on the web if you want to use it. We did it in class. They came out approximately to be the same thing. Okay. Again, if you want to do it that way, you can. What else do we have here? Okay. These we did these in class. We just have to show the identities. We did this in class. Cross products. This is very, just stack them up. I, J, K, I, J. Remember, the top is the opposite sign, not just negative, the opposite sign. When you add them up, these are the opposites. We did this one in class. We have just 3 to the power, and we get these cancel. X equals 3 to the 4th. From there. Okay, this is the big one here. Well, not too big. This is a 9th grade math question, but you need to find the slope of the line, put it in point slope form, put it in slope intercept form, and put it in standard form. The work through is on here, and there's the slope. This is my point slope form. I need to do both of them, and I need to show that they both equal the same thing, showing all the work and the fractions with it. So I got them to check. Okay, then I need to put it in standard form with integers. Should be with integers. Should get rid of the fractions by multiplying by 3 and put it in standard form. Actually, it was -3. Sorry, multiplied by -3. So if you need to pause that and look at the video, see how it's done, go right ahead. Should be able to do this no problem. It's a 9th grade math question. Again, you should have the answers on your paper. You can check that out. I believe they will all check. And just scrolling through here again. Obviously, this one is not, the graph is not on the paper, but you still need to be able to graph it. You should be able to find the length of normal, the angle, the theta, or phi, whichever one you want to use. Moving back. Some of these questions. We did this in class, like I said. Make a chart. If you don't remember, make a T chart, X and Y. Get your ordered pairs. Graph them on the graph. Make the line, label it, and go from there. That's not the line. It's just a quick example. Okay, so there's a quick video on what to do. And if you could do these, you should be able to finish the test in the 2 hours time and have a nice college life. God bless you. Amen.